I know it's a ghost. What's up, you guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hey, my name is Tyra. If you're returning,
hey bitch, you know the drill.
So today I'm going to be telling you guys about the story time on when I was being haunted. I'm going to tell you how I found out what this thing was that was haunting me, and basically all of the and tell you basically all of the experience that I've had with this particular ghost. Now let's get into the video. So this was the summer of 2010, and I was having a sleepover at my friend's house. It was us and a bunch of girls, and the girl's house that I was staying the night at, she actually had a Ouija board. I do not think it was hers. I think it was her older sister's, but either way, she was a brave ass bitch. I still love her to this day. She's my bitch. But I was definitely more of the scary friend. I really wasn't the type to watch scary movies. I was very scary, but I wasn't gonna let these bitches know I was scary. Okay, so I'm playing the game. Okay, I'm playing the game. So we bring it out, and anybody who has played the Ouija board or has heard of it, basically you all sit in a circle, you put your hand on this little triangle, and you ask it questions, and it moves around the board, and you talk to whatever the fuck it is that you're bringing in or you're channeling. So this particular night, I did not know, I don't think any of us really knew what we were doing. I think we were just being a bunch of kids. Mind you, we were in about 7th or 8th grade. So we're playing, we're talking to it, and we all kind of thought that we were moving it around, like somebody else was moving it. So I don't exactly know what we asked it. I don't really remember what we talked about, but I do specifically remember seeing that the Ouija board pointed to me, and on that, where I was sitting at on the board, was the letter T. And that's where it had moved to. And whatever, didn't really think anything of it. I did notice that. I still remember that. But yeah, whatever. So after you are done playing the Ouija board, you were supposed to close the portal. Now, we didn't do that because we didn't know what the fuck we were doing. But yeah, so when we thought we were done, we just packed the shit up and put it away and whatever. But as we're sitting around kind of just talking about it, the TV, which was behind me, and she had her parents had like a huge flat screen TV that was like, it was like back in the day, so it was like, it had the speaker thing under it, but it was on the floor. I think it was on the floor, and it was off, and then it just turned on and went like, what's the word? Staticky. I think is the word I'm looking for. So yeah, months later, I'm laying in bed, and I kind of have to give you the setup of how my room was. But at the time, basically I had a very big window that looked out into the street, and out onto the street, there was a street light. So basically from my room, it had projected onto the wall and the door, and I could see like the trees, like, you know, I could see basically shadows. Projected onto my door and on my wall. Well, my bed was set up on the left side of my room, and I also had a huge futon that was underneath my window. Now, I couldn't sleep, and I'm tossing and turning, and I'm in my bed, and this particular night, my curtains were not closed, which I don't really know why they weren't closed, but they weren't. And I turn over, and I see that at the bottom half of my door, I could see a shadow of a little boy's profile, and he was standing this side, so I could basically see this side of his face, and his shoulders, and I couldn't see anything below that, but I could see his hair, I could see his nose, I could see his lips, I could see his eyelashes, like I could see like all of that. And the energy that he was kind of giving off, or that I was feeling, I wasn't scared. I wasn't scared of him. But basically I had moved from the bed to the couch, because I'm like, am I really seeing what I'm seeing right now? And I looked outside of the window, and nothing was there, and I was like, okay, so I know it's a ghost, but I'm not really like scared of him. So, you know, I'm just kind of looking and just kind of not really connecting the dots, trying to, but not really connecting them. And then all of a sudden he goes from looking sideways to looking dead at me. And he looked at me with straight eyes. Like, I'm talking like his eyes were piercing through my soul and they were like red. So I run out of my room, I'm screaming, and I run to my parents' room and I'm like, Dad, wake up, there's somebody in my room. There's a little boy in my room. And my parents like their sleep, so he stayed in bed and so did my mom, and he just told me to say a prayer and to go to bed. So he told me to play this specific, or to say this specific prayer, which was basically, I rebuke in the name of Jesus. I demand you to leave. This is the house of the Lord. You do not belong here. So I said that, it went away. I was able to go to sleep, whatever. Now, in my parents' house, it is an older house. And it's, when we first moved into this house, it was very creepy. Like, it reeked of cat piss everywhere. In the basement, it was, one of the rooms in the basement had IVs hanging from it and needles everywhere. And I think, honestly, the kid that, the family that lived here, I think they had it, something was wrong with one of the kids, and I think they kept him in the basement. So yeah. Nothing happened again until I got to high school. So now we are on to my junior year of high school. This was August of 2013, and my parents had gone out of town for about a week, and so it was just me and my younger sisters, and my grandparents would come and stay the night with us during the time that my parents were gone. Well, during this time also, I was also having the same exact dream. When my parents left, I was basically 4 nights in a row at this point. I had been having the same exact dream, and I was waking up at between the hours of, or not even the hours, between the time of 3:30 and like 3:37. I was literally waking up in the hour of 3 a.m. So if you know what I'm talking about, then yeah. They say like that's the something hour. I don't know. It's not a good hour, I guess. But anyway, so I'm having this bad dream, and basically in this dream, somebody's breaking into my house. I'm being raped and murdered and chopped into a million pieces and shoved into my closet. And then my parents come and find me and see that I'm dead. Now, this is literally the same dream, I'm not even kidding you, that I had every night. And it woke me up every time. But this particular night, I woke up from my dream and I was laying, you know, like this. And when I opened my eyes, there was somebody laying in my bed. And I could tell it was a male energy. I couldn't see his face or any facial features. I just saw basically the head and shoulders is what I saw. So he made himself real comfortable in my bed when I didn't invite him. So, and he was dead ass resting his head on my pillow. That was this close to me. So at the time, I'm trying to like adjust my eyes as well. So as I roll over to, you know, turn the other direction, it basically got out of my bed onto the foot of my bed and stood over me at the foot of the bed. So yeah. So that happened. I said the prayer. I didn't see it again. And then obviously still in my house, like I still had experiences. Like I could still see things. I would have scratches on me. The energy was just off in my house. Like it was just very dark, and the energy and it was just heavy, you know. So then I had went to college, and once I got to college, basically at the university that I had went to, it was a private college, so it was kind of in a smaller town. And my best friend was supposed to be going with me, but she ended up only going to that school for a month before she transferred. So after she had left, I was there by myself. Now, like I said, this campus was very small. So literally outside of my dorm, there was a walkway, like a sidewalk. And then on the other side of that sidewalk houses, like residential houses. Now I don't know if people were renting them on campus or what, but like I could literally see into their windows. Like same thing like mine, the street light was right outside of the door, and so I could see the light outside of my dorm room that projected light into my dorm. So this particular night I couldn't sleep. I was having a hard time going to bed. I'm tossing and turning, and then I turn and I look at the floor and I see somebody sitting on my floor, crisscross applesauce, just sitting there and looking up at me, because I was on the top bunk, so I could like see them looking at me or just looking up at me, but I couldn't see their face. So again, couldn't see any features. I just could see like the figure itself. I was just a little confused. I'm just trying to figure out if what I'm seeing is something that I'm actually seeing. Again, I look outside, nobody's there, and yeah, I'm just like, okay. So I'm trying to think of the prayer that my dad told me, and I couldn't remember it again. So I'm again just asking God to watch over me, protect me, shield me from, yeah, didn't see it again. But so yeah, I ended up moving back home after that school year was over. Well, I ended up going down to the basement, which was cool, but like cool because I could have my own space. It was like a huge room. I could have my own bathroom, but whatever. I got my room, and one night I had got really high with my friend, and I was tripping. Like I'm talking like straight tripping. And everything was fine and cool when I was with her, but when I went home, I literally, you guys, I saw what looked like the zombies from I Am Legend. I saw them crawling behind me and chasing me while I was driving home. So I was very scared. And when I got home, I run in the house, I go downstairs, every light in the house is off, and go downstairs, go to my room, and I go face first into my pillow, blankets over me. I'm just kind of sitting there like this, like scared to death. I'm literally hallucinating at this point. I have a song replaying over and over and over and over in my head, and I don't even know what the song is. It's just a bunch of sounds that I'm hearing. And then on this side of my ear, like behind me, I'm hearing this weird laughing, like weird creepy noise behind me, and I could almost see him, but I didn't know what I was seeing. Like I could see somebody laughing and hear somebody laughing, and it was like a man in a suit. So that's what I was seeing. Now granted, my eyes were closed, and my face was face first in the pillow, so I'm not really sure where my mind was going with that, but I was tripping. Mind you, my great grandma had also just passed away this same year that this happened. And, I'm just like, I'm praying, and I'm like, God, like, I don't want to be high anymore. Like, I'll never get high again if this can just leave me alone. Like, I'm tired. I don't want to be high no more. Like, this was an unenjoyable high. You know, we all know what those are. And I'm literally just begging for this to stop. And as I'm begging for this to stop, mind you, like my hands are like this because I'm praying. I saw my grandma like come up to me and put her hands around my hands and just tell me like, it's okay, you'll be all right. And it stopped. Like I was at complete ease at that point, and I could actually breathe, because like I could not breathe when that was happening. Like it was the weirdest, trippiest, craziest moment of my life. And most unenjoyable for sure. But anyways, so yeah, so the last real instance that something had happened was I was getting ready with my friend, and she was sitting on the toilet waiting for me to finish getting my makeup done, and I kind of stepped back from the mirror to kind of look at my makeup, and then I had seen my sister walk into my room, and I'm like, did you just see my sister go in my room? And she was like, no. And I'm like, are you sure? And she's like, yeah, I'm sure. So I go into my room, and my sister's not there. And I can literally tell you exactly what my sister was wearing. And she was wearing a black shirt and gray sweatpants. And my sister has really long curly hair, so that's how I knew it was her, was because I could see her long curly hair. And It was creepy. It was very, very creepy. I don't know. I didn't really want to freak out too much because my friend like didn't know about the experiences that I had. So I don't really want to tell her. But yeah, so after that, nothing really happened. I really just tried to get a lot closer to God, and nothing really happened. I really wasn't scared or anything like that. And honestly, that kind of like back then I was very, very scary. Like I was scared of everything. And honestly, I feel like when you have that kind of energy, it attracts those things, because I don't know what the reason is, but it does attract those kinds of energies, that kind of negative energy, just because you're able to like, you're easily attracted to it. So I feel like once I was able to get out of like that negative mindset, just thinking negatively and letting the devil kind of control my own thoughts, it wasn't really easy for me to even feel those fears anymore. Now, this is how I found out what it was. So my dad is really close to a lady who, she's not psychic, and I don't exactly know what the word is or what she really calls herself, but she is just close. She says that she's close to God. Like she really can see things and feel things that other people can't see or feel. And she has told me a lot of accurate information, but basically I did not ever ask her about it until about a year ago. I was talking to her about something else, and I had asked her, I was like, you know, I had this thing happen to me, and I only shared with her a little bit of the information. And she then asked me, she said, have you ever played with a Ouija board? And I'm like, yeah, I did. And she was like, when you played that, it brought home, it followed you home, and it basically kind of stuck around for a very long time. And it is a demonic entity called incubus. Now, if nobody knows what that is, basically it is a demon of some sort who disguises itself into a male form, who they basically lie upon sleeping women to sexually assault them or rape them in their sleep. So I'm thinking like, a ghost tried to rape me? Like, no, he did not try to rape me. And I had told her, I'm like, I don't like actually like recall that happening, you know, like I could see that, but nothing ever happened, you know. And she said, she told me, she was like, well, yeah, nothing did happen because the angels that surround you wouldn't let that happen. Basically your angels protected you and kept that from happening. But there were times where he got close. That one time, and specifically when he was laying in my bed. So it scared the shit out of me. Basically, she told me that we did not close the Ouija board, and the Ouija board is a portal to let those kinds of things in. And when you don't close it correctly, then it's gonna follow you home. And I feel like because the kind of energy that I carried at the time, which was very scared, and it basically can make its energy stronger by feeding off your energy. So yeah, that's pretty much what happened, guys. That's how I found out what it was. Nothing's ever happened to me since. I'm not super scared of that kind of stuff anymore, just because I know that the Lord's protecting me at all times. But yeah, so that is my story. If you guys want to hear more story times about the crazy stuff that's happened in my life, just let me know. If you guys like this video, just make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, stay tuned for the next video. Bye.